Good morning. Howdy do, everyone. Good morning. I am not Chris Whitenack. I'm thrilled to be here with Andres, though, and Karen Novi. We are going to get started here, so please take this little friend and put it on silent, maybe do not disturb mode, and let's have a beautiful service. We're going to start with spirit-led, spirit-fed. Feel free to stand, dance, clap, sing, all the things. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led, flowing like a river of peace. I am nature's wandering child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made complete. Song. And as we're choosing our way, there's a voice inside to guide us along. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always we are spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are spirit-led.
Woohoo! All right, you may be seated. And we're going to try to see you, from behind the beautiful irises here as we are celebrating. Oh, I don't know. It's a special day today. What is it?
I don't know. It's a special day in May.
A special day in May? Maybe somebody will tell us. We'll find out at some point. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here today. Welcome to those of you joining us online. If you are here visiting from Facebook or YouTube, we're glad to have you here. So just say a little hello, put that in the chat, and we can get this conversation going. I'm Reverend Victoria Loveland-Coen, and to my right here is the wonderful Chris Eagle joining us today. He's going to anchor us in a prayer and meditation and also light the Divine Light candle for us. So I'd like to invite you as he does, just take a moment and be with that important element of fire, and to say our opening invocation, which is on the buff sheet that's in the seat back in front of you. If you are not yet familiar, you want to take that out and take a look. And most importantly, let's just take a moment and locate that heart center, that place where we are an opening for that divine presence. And together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. Let's just take a moment and breathe that in and feel the fullness of that spiritual power. Open to that energy in every cell of your being. Breathing it in, feeling that connection. And so it is.
So it is.
trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love.
Feeling how that music has moved us. If you would take one last check on your devices to make sure they are meditating already, I'd appreciate that. And if you would, whatever you're doing, if you want to clear your laps of anything so you don't have to hold on to anything, and just allow yourself to be fully supported by the seat you are sitting on, or however you are being. If it's comfortable, close your eyes or gaze softly down. In this moment, there is nothing you have to do. There is only being. It is like being as these flowers are that are up on the stage. But you are already complete as you are in this moment. Any thoughts that are moving through your head are just part of consciousness and presence. And just allow yourself to observe them, but let them pass. As you breathe, this wonderful affirmation that we carry with us all times, allow it to loosen any pieces that don't yet feel relaxed. It could be on the inhale, it just stretches something a little bit, be it your rib cage, your abdomen, maybe getting into your neck, and the exhale, releasing whatever you no longer need. Allow that breath to cycle through, allowing you to become more and more present. And inside that presence, there are many, many flavors. And the one that I would love you to focus on and be with in this next moments is the one of mothering. That warm embrace, that sweet safety, assurance, whatever words that attach to you for that wonderful mothering that you have experienced, want to experience through many, many other individuals. Allow that to presence itself. And there may be new little nuances that want to come up and be shared with you. So I encourage you to just continue breathing and allowing this divine mothering to come through in the silence. allowing every last cell of you and fiber of your being to lock on and tie in this presence that you are experiencing. If there are any thoughts of people, places, or things, situations that don't yet feel like they are experiencing this divine motherhood, if you would call their names softly aloud, inviting them in. These that are named, and also those that are still in the silence, are all being invited in by your own presence. You're making it more available for them to realize what is already around them. And also, in the prayer requests that have come through this community, these too are being held in this energy. These are already accessing all the divine powers available. Whatever is needed, whatever is surrounding them, is already present. It is ours to release and surrender to those powers, to allow this to come manifest, to be seen, to be fully experienced in the physical. We release whatever is no longer serving us and allowing these prayer requests to become so, and so it is. Allowing yourself to open your eyes when you're available. If you feel the need to stretch a little bit, go right ahead. If you're sitting near someone, be mindful that it's only a playful tap if it happens. And if you would, seek out at least 2 other divine beings. If you're in the room, there's plenty. For those of you live streaming, I'll hang out with you in a minute. But connect with your eyes. And if you would join me in our vision and mission, which you have 2 options of finding, either on the buff sheet or the front of the program. They are the same, so you won't go wrong with either. And let's just live into this as we say them together. Our vision: we envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission: we center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey toward wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is. And I'm going to turn it back over to Karen and Andres.
Thank you. So 2 years ago on Mother's Day was the first time I ever played music at this particular lovely space, Unity Center for Peace. And it was really profound and meaningful for me as a mother and as a spiritual being to feel like this was such a place of love and acceptance and a feeling of home. So the 3 songs I'm playing today are originals, and I've written them for little people in my life, little beings, but I was thinking to myself that, you know, we come in to this experience so pure and so loved and so whole. And so what I'm hoping is that you can hear these, you know, as maybe from your higher power and your deep, true, loving self to yourself. Hey, beauty, I know you. It's only been a few days, but it feels like forever. And already I love From the moment that I saw you, you went straight to my heart. You are the glitter of the stars, and you are the calmness of the sea. Yeah, you are the sweetest thing I've ever seen. I love you, eternity, little one. Hey baby, I feel you silent in my arms. You are as real as can be, and already I see you, yeah, right before my eyes. You are a miracle come true, 'cause you are the magic of the stars. Yeah, you are the power of the sea. You are the sweetest thing I've ever seen. I love you, eternity, little one. Look at you, sleeping there, flesh and blood, holding me in your tiny hand. Hey beauty, I know you already.
That was beautiful. I can see that, you singing that to your child. Perfect. Happy Mother's Day. Here we are. That's what it is. It's Mother's Day. And to you who are joining us online, happy Mother's Day to you. There are, many of us here are mothers, whether that's mothers of children or maybe furry babies, feathery babies, that all counts. What I know for sure is that we all have mothers, or we all had mothers. Everybody here has a belly button, right? We're going to be hearing a little bit more about the belly button idea in a little bit. But yeah, so we've all been touched by a mother's love and guidance, right? And so we're here today to celebrate that, to honor mothers. And you know what they say is true. It is the hardest job in the world, I think. The most rewarding, but definitely difficult. So we want to give our mothers all of the appreciation and honor and gratitude that we can today. And we cannot pay our mothers back ever for what they gave us. We can only carry it on, right? We can only carry it forward. And I recognize that not everyone had the picture perfect, wonderful, loving mother that was depicted in Hallmark cards, right? Yeah, a mother's love can get compromised when she's stressed, or when she's feeling like maybe she doesn't know how she's going to provide, or maybe she's dealing with her own unhealed stuff, her own unhealed shadows, right? That can definitely compromise. And there are no perfect mothers. Anybody have the perfect mother? Yeah, so we're talking about degrees of good mothering here, right? And we're choosing to focus on all of the ways that we were blessed by the mothering that we had. That's what we're focusing on today. And you know that love, that's the first gift that a mother, gives her child. And it's no doubt that, a mother falls in love. I mean, there's no, of course she does. Here you are with the baby you just given birth, and this newborn is like the purest expression of life. It's just the purest expression. And if you have conceived that with, your partner, you may see like that's the purest version of the combination of the two of you. That's kind of how it happens, and by nature, by design. And that, again, that love is the foundation for a child's life. That ensures that a child grows into a confident adult who is, feels valuable and feels that he or she is lovable, and sets one up for a lifetime of successful relationships. Now, if you feel that may have been lacking, in your childhood, not to worry. Again, mothers are the sort of ultimately an imperfect representation of divine love. That's what a mother is, the representation of divine love, but kind of an imperfect representation. And divine love, infinite divine love from Source, is always here. It's here right now. It is constantly being given to us. It is being given to us right now, and we can receive it right now. Let's just receive it. Let's all take a nice deep breath and receive that divine love that is here, constantly being given to us. Yeah. And the quality of that divine love is compassion and patience and complete acceptance and encouragement and protection and just faith, right? That's the quality. So it might be a tad unfair to expect a human mother who, again, is trying to balance all the things in her life and maybe dealing with her own stuff. It might be a tad unfair to expect that human mother to express all of those qualities perfectly, right? That's why we are focusing on being grateful for the love, the mother love that we did receive. And now that we're adults, we can go to the source. We go directly to Source, to that divine love that is here within us, where all of those qualities lie. Right now, all those qualities, compassion, acceptance, patience, encouragement, they're right here. They're right here within us. And that mother can really be kind of a representational idea of that universal idea of mothering, kind of like the Jungian archetype, which is, the archetype is like a pattern of thought, of images, of characters universally present and within us individually, right? That mother archetype. So I think it could be really useful to explore some of these universal archetypes as we're seeking to, express the highest that is within us and to actively participate in our conscious evolution, which is the theme for this month, right? Conscious evolution. We talked about this last week. This is the theme for this month. It's one way to do that. And we all have that mother archetype within us. We, male and female, we all have it. And nowhere is that more apparent than when you hold a baby. Whether that's a human baby or maybe it's a furry baby, right? Just suddenly you have this unconscious, you hold the baby gently and you want to take care of it and protect it and nurture it and give it what you feel that it needs, right? We just do that. You're activating that mother archetype within you. It's being activated unconsciously. Another quality of the mother archetype we can think of as being that fertile, creative place within us. So if you have an idea or a project or something that you really want to see realized, you really love this idea, this project, you want to see it realized, when you're launching that, very often we refer to this as giving birth to it, right? I'm giving birth to my book, to my organization, to my idea, to my garden, whatever it is, right? And we often refer to the thing as our baby. It's our baby. It's you conceived it, you nurtured it, you took care of it, and you may have even gone to tremendous risk in giving birth to that. And now that it's here, you want to protect it. You want to see that it grows. Again, that's another example of the mother archetype being activated within you. So embracing that archetype, embracing that, can give us confidence and power because we know we're capable. It's already here, right? It's already within us. So another quality of the mother archetype can be intuition, powerful intuition. Now, very often we refer to it as women's intuition. And I think, very generally speaking, women have a tendency to be a little more in tune with, the subtler realms, the feeling nature, the emotional, creative, spiritual insight, right? Which is all the more surprising that historically, and I think Chris was mentioning this last week, historically, spiritual leaders and priests and pastors and ministers and the Pope, historically male, right? Of course, that's because, why? They were afraid of women's power, took it from them, and then suppressed them. So there's that, really frankly. So, but here, New Thought, this is what I love about New Thought, is that from the very beginning, it recognized women's spiritual power and encouraged them to become leaders. New Thought really changed the paradigm. It really changed the whole paradigm about that. That's why you see Unity as Centers for Spiritual Living, Divine Science, a lot of ministers are women. Because from the very beginning, it was honored. It was recognized. Thank God. So here's the thing. A good mother will encourage both her female and male children to develop their own inner wisdom and listen to their inner guidance and sort of exercise their power of discernment, right? Because that sort of sets them up. It gets them going along and confident that they're going to have everything that they need, right? To, to whatever they need in life. And that's probably, it's probably easier for some people to access that if they had a role model, if their mother or maybe father, had that practice, actually did that themselves. Listen to their inner wisdom, use that power of discernment, listen to and followed intuition, and then encourage you to do so. Right? That can be really helpful. But again, if that wasn't part of your childhood, it doesn't matter, because that power of wisdom is already within us. It's within each of us. It's one of our 12 powers. The power of wisdom is located right here in the solar plexus. We all have it. This is our power of wisdom, discernment, and intuition. And we can exercise that. We can learn to access it. It may take a little more work for some to learn to access that, to trust it, but it's there, right? We all have it. Yeah. So, and as children are beginning to grow up, some of us have children who are becoming teenagers and young adults, and that's when we as parents need to step back and let the children make their own mistakes, right? Because that's how they learn. That's how they learn to develop their inner wisdom. They learn the skill of discernment and to listen to the inner wisdom, to develop a relationship with that intuition. And it is the hardest thing I have to say, to watch your children make a big mistake when you know the solution is right here. And it is so clear. If they would just listen to you, they just would save them so much pain. But you can't, right? You can't. Because the more a mother steps in to try to solve her children's problems, the less likely that child is going to be able to develop that own skill. That's their skill. That's their gift. Like all of us have that gift, that power of wisdom. It's interesting. In a lot of the wisdom traditions, the power of wisdom is so important that they've personified it. Like in ancient Greece, it's Sophia. Right? Sophia is the personification of wisdom. That's true for the Gnostics, and early Christians had this idea, this image of Sophia being, the goddess of wisdom, the personification of wisdom. It's interesting that it was a female, right? And probably a mother. No doubt, I'm sure. Linda Martella-Whitsitt. You're familiar with Linda Martella-Whitsitt in her book Divine Audacity, which is really all about the 12 powers and how we can use them, how they can really help us in our lives. She talks about the power of wisdom, and she says, wisdom is often compared to knowledge. Knowledge, however, is our recall of information accumulated and stored in our brains. Knowledge is based on experience as well as study. Wisdom is applied knowledge, our decision-making capacity through mental evaluation, spiritual discernment, and moment-to-moment intuition. That's the power of wisdom. And again, it's here, it's now within us. We just need to learn to access it and trust it. So I want you to think of a moment right now where you had clear guidance, clear intuition, where it was really strong and really definite. Think back a time. See if you can recall that moment. Maybe it was a pivotal moment in your life where you really felt some clear guidance. And see if you can locate where it was in your body. Was there a was it associated with any part of like your gut or your heart or any part of your body? See if you can recreate that sensation, really feel into that sensation. What did it feel like? Or maybe for you, it was just a flash of insight, just a flash of, ooh, time to leave. Or, yeah, let's say yes to this. Or maybe it was a heaviness in your heart, or a lightness in your heart. Maybe there was a combination of some of those things. See if you can really recall that and feel into how it is for you, how it was for you. And I'm going to ask you now, because we've all done this, think of a time that you felt that intuition. It was clear and strong, you knew it, but you didn't follow it. For whatever reason, we all do it, right? Think about a time. And what happened then? And what did you learn from that? What did you learn from it? And now, think of a time where you had that insight, that revelation, that intuition, and you said yes, and you followed it. What happened? Right? What was the blessing in your life? How did that show up? So doing this exercise a few times through can help to clarify how our intuition speaks to us, because it's different for everyone. Helps to clarify it so that you'll recognize it the next time it shows up. And this is something that can so help us in every aspect of our life. You know, relationships, our careers, movement forward, drawing back, when to pursue something, when to, say, maybe not now. It's a really important skill, and it's not just women's intuition. We all have it, this power of wisdom. Also, discernment is part of this too. And, I have to say, again, very general speaking, women have an uncanny sense of the use of discernment. And discernment is, it's good judgment, yes. It's common sense, yes. It's looking at facts, yes, but it's more than that, right? It's looking behind the facts and maybe seeing something that's not so obvious. Also part of that discernment is we check in with our values and what's important to us, our priorities. We generally check in with that, maybe even unconsciously, maybe not consciously. Sometimes, we'll just sit with it for a while. If it's a big decision, we'll sit with something and, maybe meditate on it before we make a decision. So think about how a mother goes through this process of discernment when she's choosing childcare for her child, or even a babysitter, or even an activity that she's going to sign her child up for. There's a process of discernment. It's not just oh yeah, let's go with that one. It's not just immediate on its surface. There is a process of discernment that happens there. And this is just an example of how it works in our life. And we can use this, again, part of that power of wisdom which we all have. And so, ultimately, you know, we can express this mother archetype. We can express it. In other words, this divine mother love that is within all of us, we can choose to express it, to align ourselves with it, to activate it in our lives, and to share it with others, to share it with the world. I mean, God isn't, so what the world needs is some compassion and some acceptance and some protection, the planet, and encouragement, you know, and patience, Lord knows. The world needs that. So the world needs this. And we, as conscious beings, as somebody who is actively participating in conscious evolution here, we can activate that divine archetype, that mother archetype within us, which can... Yeah. I'll pause until we're done with that one. Okay. We can allow it to channel through as best we can, right? As best we can. It's not going to be perfect. We're not looking for perfection here. But as best we can share these qualities, just being conscious of them when we're having an interaction with somebody. When we're expressing in our work, whatever work we're doing. When we are, you know, communicating with others, when we are trying to take care of our planet, we can have this idea and this consciousness in our intention, right? In our intention. And this is one of the ways that we can be of service to that emerging paradigm, to that new paradigm that is emerging. And that we can participate in the conscious evolution that is happening now. This is one way we can do this. And so to remind you to activate this mother archetype within you, we have a lovely flower to give you that we'd like for you to take home with you to remind you to activate that mother archetype. And we'd like you to come up. Chris, if you would come up, and we'll do one row at a time, starting from the back. If you would come up, and you might just want to maybe, if you want to have a silent gratitude for your mother, a silent blessing, you know, while you receive the flower. And then when you sit down, think about that power, that divine love, mother love is within me. I'm choosing to express it now. All right, so thank you. Come on up.
Purple or white? Thank you.
And so we have a little special treat for you right now. So my husband wrote quite a while ago, a number of years ago, I think before we had kids. He wrote this book called What's It For? It's a children's book, and he came to read it to the kids upstairs today. But since we don't have any kids, I have to tell you, it's really sweet, and I'd like to invite Dana Cohen up to read the story. Is this mic? Okay. Speaking with the mic.
Oh, the mic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's easier if I'm...
I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay.
Oh, wait, Chris is going to fix it for you.
Uh-huh. All right, problem solved. Thank you. This would be illustrated. It isn't yet. So I'm going to read you the visuals and then I'll read you the text. It's called What's It For? And the first visual, it is evening. A 6-year-old boy stands shirtless in front of a full-length mirror mounted on a door. He has an inquisitive look in his face as he frames his belly button with his hands. A bird on the windowsill checks to see if he has one as well. A dog sleeps in a corner and a cat looks on attentively. What's it for? He asked the door. Can you tell me that? I wish I knew. I really do. So do I, said the cat. The boy's fingers tickle the cat, who enjoys the playful massage. The bird checks his wings to see if he has fingers as well. I've learned to use my fingers. They can rub and scratch and pat. But this button in my belly, what do I do with that? Visual. The boy is amazed as the cat spins wildly above the ground. Letters, stars, and exclamation points spew from his ears. The bird fearfully covers his head with his wings. The cat jumped up and spun around. I think I'm having a thought. You better pay attention now, because it doesn't happen a lot. Visual. The cat is standing on 2 legs, pointing a knowing finger in the air. The bird scratches his head with his wings as he considers this theory. A mouse peers out from the hole in the wall. If it really is a button, then here's the thing to do. Just press it with your finger and see what it does to you. The mouse positions himself valiantly in front of the boy's belly button. The cat shrugs fatalistically, and the concerned bird pushes mightily against the boy's backside. The dog awakens with a groggy look. I wouldn't try it, warned the mouse. I know you're bound to scoff, but if you do what he suggests, your bottom might fall off. The dog is confidently pressing a paw to the boy's belly button. All the other characters are cringing as they hold their hands, wings, feet, or paws to their ears. Ridiculous, remarked the dog. That's not at all correct. You can press it all you want and nothing will eject. The dog is drawing a diagram of the boy's blackboard. It is a cross-section of the boy's stomach. The cat looks confused. The mouse leans close to study the drawing, and the bird is taking notes. It's very simple, actually, as simple as can be. It's a window in his stomach. Take a look and see. The mouse standing on the cat's head is peering deep into the boy's belly button. The dog leans smugly against the wall, and the bird puts on a pair of eyeglasses. It's dark in there, complained the mouse. You sure that this is right? If it's what you say it is, why isn't there a light? Visual. The dog is shining a flashlight down the boy's throat. Bad design, replied the dog. It never got put in. You have to use a flashlight to see what lies within. The dog continues to hold the flashlight down the boy's throat while the mouse, cat, and bird peer excitedly into the boy's belly button. Ah, now I see, announced the mouse. Look, there's a lump of cheese. No, replied the cat. That's a pile of peas. Visual. The dog, cat, and mouse, bird tumble backwards as the boy boldly asserts himself. Enough, piped up the boy. That's all that I'll allow. For dinner I had noodles, so please, let's stop this now. The boy, dog, cat, mouse, and bird are blissfully lifted off their feet by a current of sweet-smelling air. I think my mom is on her way. Yes, that's her, all right. She always smells like flowers when she kisses me goodnight. The boy's mother has poked her head in the door. She is holding a pile of celery. The boy is leaping exuberantly into the air. The animals are dancing together in celebration. Very soon his mom appeared. Are you okay in here? "Holy cow," he shouted out. "The answer now is clear." The boy is attempting to fit the end of the stalk of celery into his belly button. The animals huddle around with interest. "I know what it's really for, this button in my skin. It's the place that holds the sauce to dip the celery in." The boy's mother is kneeling in front of her seated son. The dog, cat, and mouse share a thought bubble. In it, an old ragged mast of a ship pokes out from the boy's belly button. The bird stares at the bubble with a confused look on his face. "Dearest son," his mother sighed, "I think that you're confused. This is called your navel, and it's already been used." The boy's mother is pointing to his belly button. Above the astonished boy's head shows a newborn baby in the womb, umbilical cord attached. The dog, cat, mouse, and bird stare at the bubble in awe. "When you were inside of me, I fed you through this cord. This is where it entered you." "You're kidding me," he roared. The mother tickles the giggling boy in his belly button while a bubble rises above the bird's head, showing the baby bird rising like a helicopter out of a cracked shell. The dog, cat, and mouse peer at the bubble with amazement. "It's the truth," she uttered. "We were once attached. The animals had cords as well, except the bird. They're hatched." The boy's mother is tucking him in bed. The animals are preparing their sleeping places, the dog in his corner, the cat on the chair, the mouse inside his hole, and the bird in his nest in the tree above the window, outside the window. Now it has no purpose, but think of this, my son. It's the place that marks the spot where you and I were one. The boy's mother is kissing him goodnight. A flurry of flowers whirl around his sleepy head. The animals are settled in their respective sleeping places. So whenever you're alone and feeling very blue, your navel will remind you, dear, that I'm a part of you. The boy sleeps soundly. Instead of in their sleeping places, however, all the animals are now curled up in the bed. The dog at the end, the cat in the boy's armpit, the mouse under his chin, and the bird on his head. Later, while he was asleep, the boy dreamt all was well. The animals had nice dreams too. Everything was swell. A bubble over the sleeping boy's head shows him in the same bed. Through the door snakes a long, flower-covered vine. It is connected to his belly button. They all knew they had mothers, and that's the key, I suppose, because mothers too have mothers, and on it goes. Yes, mothers too have mothers, and on it goes. Yeah. Wow.
There we go. That was beautiful and funny. I love that. Awesome. This song is called Dream. Say goodbye. I don't want you to cry. Tomorrow's one of many days that I can show you how much I love you. Go, but do not go too far. You're always in my heart. The ties that bind may stretch and pull, but they will never, ever, never break for our own sake. So love, live the life you love. Dream, do what you dream of. Sit with me a while. You always make me smile with thoughts and words and memories of what was, it is written in my heart. got your very own song. The world needs to hear from you. You burn to, yearn to, you've got to. You do it 'cause you have to. Beginning today, your voice, your way. Love, live the life you love, and do what you dream of. Love, live the life you love, and do what you dream of. Love, live the life you love, do what you dream of. Yeah, love, live the life you love, do what you dream of. Do what you dream. What you dream.
Thank you. We have this abundance of flowers, and I can't help but keep remembering from the Sermon on the Mount, from the Christian perspective, see the lilies of the field, how they don't toil. And I think, maybe I should take that into consideration, because they are fully clothed. But then you can't see your navel, and then you can't figure out what the belly button's for. So anyways, I'm going to stop there. So, like the belly button, this community has ways of feeding and nourishing us. And in that, there is a sacred exchange. And as we participate in this community, we also strengthen it, but we can also support it in our current way that we run through society. Money is one of these things. So whatever your gifts are, they help not only support, but make this community thrive. So I would love for you to take a representation of however you do that. And if you're currently in this room and you're a conscious sustainer, you can use the green card. There's many options in the program, and if you're viewing live stream, there are many options listed on the screen. And one of the key things with all of this is like how the boy came to the realization of what the belly button truly was about, is to be fully centered in that discernment of this gift is a part of me moving through this community. So would you take your representation and join me in the blessing, which is either on the buff sheet or on the screen, and let's say that together. All right. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
And we are exploring new expressions of our giving and prosperity. And so this is a song called The Power of Love is Here Now. And the words are, the power of love is here now, the power of now is here now, and the power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. And you'll get the tune, so just join in whenever you feel. Power of love's here now, power of now is here now, the power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love's here now, the power of now is here now, you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth.
And as one of the aspects of being a community, it is not just these individual gifts, but since we are giving as a community, would you also help me bless these as a community by aiming your hands at these bowls, realizing that our individual gifts combined together amplify. And they amplify the goodness, the love, the essence that is us individually, merged together in a strength and a power and a loving presence that moves out from this community across this planet. And because giving is a part of a cycle, that gift goes out through the world and is received again to the giver, through the giver, out again and again and again. And so it is. Today you're much closer to the prayer box. So for those of you that are new or returning from a long absence, you may have already received a packet. If you haven't, if you would raise your hand and let the greeters know. But that packet, if you would fill out both sides and return it to one of the greeters, myself or Reverend Victoria, we'd really appreciate it, and we have a little gift. I'm going to turn it back over to Karen and Andres.
Reach for the stars, cling to the moon. Though you are young, it's never too soon to know the stars will light your way, and the moon will hold you close. When the night turns to a new day, may you know this simple truth. Reach for the stars, cling to the moon. I know you are young, but it's never too soon to know the love that comes your way will feed you as you grow. When the night has turned into a new day, may you always know what means the most. Reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. 'Cause Grandmother Moon, she'll guide you through hell. My darling, reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. 'Cause I know that you can touch the sky. I know that you can touch the sky. I know that you can
Thank you both. That was just heart-moving. And now how am I supposed to get into the announcements from that? I'll work it out. Yes. See this discernment? It shows up everywhere. Anyways, so beyond just what happens on Sunday, we also have many other things that are happening through Unity Center of Peace. I just want to highlight several of them. For those of you in person, you've got a whole packet of information in your program, so make sure you dive into the details with that. I'm just going to highlight a few, and you'll see more stuff on the screen for those of you live streaming. Next Saturday, UCP is having a yard sale, and Michael Savino has graciously offered his yard for this yard sale, so thank you, Michael. And donations are coming in, and if you haven't yet brought donations, you can bring them into the office Tuesday through Friday, 12 to 4 p.m. So you can bring them here, looking for things that are fairly easy to lift so that we don't strain anybody. Please, if you have a sleeper sofa, just take it to the restore, please. Those are not the things we're looking for. So there's that, and if you want to help out, you can certainly help out on Saturday, May 20th, and that will be happening. There's more details in your program on the screen about that. Also, coming up, we have another installment of the Pathways to Community class, which is a way of getting to know New Thought, Unity, and then the particular mix at Unity Center of Peace. And Reverend Victoria is bringing that together for Saturday, June 3rd, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. So if you're curious about what this is all about and want to know more, it's a great opportunity. It is required for membership if that's the route you want to go, but it doesn't mean that you still get to choose on whatever you'd like to do for that. That's coming up. I believe there's also a sign-up sheet on the back table if you want. There's also online ways of getting that registration too. And for those of you that were here several weeks ago, Reverend Chris Nygren introduced the Spiritual Soundscape project that is being kind of coordinated by the Smithsonian. And Unity Center of Peace is having our own little piece of that. You can find out more on the back table. There's some posters showing some of that, but we are recording various things, and you can help out. If you have one of these devices that looks roughly like this, maybe yours folds, maybe yours is fancier, bigger, slightly different color, probably a better color than what mine is because I'm just got a plain thing. But it can record sound. And if there are any little interesting snips that are related to Unity Center of Peace, you can do those, and you can send them on to our office email, office@unitychapelhill.org, and we can include them in our project. We've already assembled a couple of those, so this is your chance to capture some aspect. And these go through all kinds of aspects. So if you're not sure what this covers, you can take a look at the posters, but it's really capturing the sounds of community, not a studio cut of some song or something like that, but it's life. So if there's something, I don't know, it could be the Sacred Cafe that's going to happen outside afterwards, and you hear this wonderful hubbub of conversation, and you think it's really cool, record that. It's all kinds of things like that. It's just to show life and humanity that happens at UCP. So thank you for participating in that. Also, perhaps the boy in the story was kind of working on this already, but Reverend Victoria is, sorry, that's a long joke that you're going to get in a second. I apologize, I'm working a little fast. Reverend Victoria is offering a meditation practice course. So there has been sort of a tongue-in-cheek term that navel gazing is one of those things. So sorry, that was not a great setup. You can erase that joke. We're going to move on to what's really important. Yes. But it's really an opportunity of how do you tune into that discernment, that intuition, that wisdom that is within you. And there are many different techniques. And so Reverend Victoria is going to bring people through various ways of accessing that. And the key with all of this is always practicing. So you get to practice in a safe environment, get feedback, all of that. So that's a 5-week series that is starting June 7th, running through July 5th, 7 to 9 p.m. And that is happening Wednesday evenings. So if you want to know more, you can either ask Reverend Victoria. I think there's more information in your program as well. So it's an opportunity to dive deeper in. With all of this stuff, because we have this life with social media as well, if there are things that you have enjoyed or are participating in, if you would like, subscribe, hit the bell, all those things that help move things through social media, that really does help because it gets more notice out there in social media. So there's Yelp, Google reviews, all of that stuff. If you would do your part with that, that would be most appreciated. And after every service, you saw the prayer box. We have a trained prayer team. Our prayer partner today is Joy Bell. Thank you. And if there's anything that hasn't quite landed for you, or if there's something on your mind that persists, please avail yourself of something what we call the 3-minute miracle, which is a way you sit with someone in prayer, in affirmative prayer, and allow that to shift. So thank you, Joy, for bringing that service to us today. That will happen at the end of the hall to the right, which is room 103. And if those of you live streaming, if you send an email to prayer@unitychapelhill.org with your phone number, because otherwise Joy can't call you back, she will call and you will get a prayer via phone as well. So we have other things happening after the service. We are obviously having a Sacred Cafe, which is where we get to have fellowship, join together. There's always wonderful things to nourish ourselves physically. And additionally to that, we have our deeper dive discussion, which will be happening here in the sanctuary. So you can get your physical nourishment, and you can bring that in here, and then continue on this deepening on what has transpired over the service in a new way, in fellowship, in an intimate setting. Also, we have our composting happening. If you would like to support that financially, we also have a jar out there. And just, hey, keep having things. And don't forget your flowers when you leave. Since we didn't have any children, at least physically show up, we were all children. So let us do our blessing, which is on that buff sheet if you don't yet know that. Blessing all the children of the world, including those that normally grace our presence, and the ones inside of us. So you can pick which direction you want to aim your hands. So it starts as, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are, and we to behold the Christ in you. Yes, the moi. You got to have the moi, otherwise it's not done. Would you stand if you're able, and let us, it's on the buff sheet if you don't already know it. We'll say our prayer of protection with I am statements and go out with a peace song. Together, the light of God enfolds us, surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the light of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant
So it is.